up, Super Reaction Bros? I'm Kristen.
I'm Christopher.
And on today's episode, we are taking a look at the official trailer for one we've been looking forward to after they first announced it, and that is the official trailer for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, which is more or less a Mr. Rogers biopic.
In a way, yeah, that's what it is, pretty much, showing where, he kind of started it and where he ended up with it.
Yes, so the main draw is that Tom Hanks is in the role of Fred Rogers, Hollywood's favorite uncle. So, like, the combination of one of the best childhood performers of all time, mixed with the pure, like, amazingness that is Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Seems like a good chemistry. Now, like, I only just recently got around to seeing the Mr. Rogers documentary, Won't You Be My Neighbor? And
it's a must-watch.
It's
definitely a must-watch. It's like, one of those films that remember they complained that why it didn't get nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah, even if you like me remotely grew up watching some of his stuff,
here.
It's gonna affect you in some way, shape, or form.
If you grew up, even with maybe just a little bit of it, it's gonna affect you.
Yeah,
much. I know when I watched it. I know when he told me he recently watched it. It's gonna have you crying at moments, pretty much. Very emotional.
The main premise of this is that like it chronicles not just Mr. Rogers, more or less Mr. Rogers' life, but his friendship with a journalist, pretty much.
Yeah, I know that. He was always with a certain journalist that he was very much friendly with, pretty much always. So let's just dive right into this and see what he's gonna bring, what Tom Hanks is gonna bring to Mr. Rogers in A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, the official trailer. So here we go.
Hello, neighbor. Hey, I'm looking for Fred Rogers. In here. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Please, both you be my neighbor. Hello, neighbor. Mr. Rogers, I'm here to interview you. It is so nice to meet you. You okay? Profiling Mr. Rogers.
Lord, please don't ruin my childhood.
Please don't ruin my childhood.
Peace would be for an issue about heroes. Do you consider yourself a hero? We are trying to give the world positive ways of dealing with its feelings. Yeah, like what? There are many things you can do. You can play all the lowest keys on a piano at the same time. We love broken people. Like me. Sometimes we have to ask for help. And that's okay. I think the best thing we can do is to let people know that each one of them is precious.
Hey, Mr. Rogers, it's a beautiful day.
Aw.
Beautiful day for a neighbor. Please, won't you be
Aww.
That was wonderful.
Yeah, okay, so of course I think in my opinion it looks good. It's like okay, I can be critical about this because taking the autograph.
Yeah.
Like if I had like one critique, I would say it's not that easy to pull off Mr. Rogers' voice.
It's not, and I've heard some people, even on the radio, saying pretty much, "Oh, I just watched the trailer. The only problem I have with it is just, he doesn't sound like him." I don't care about that.
Like if I have one nitpick about this,
and that's it,
and that's really it, is that the voice he can't. It's gonna be really difficult to nail Mr. Rogers or voice, but everything else I saw.
his essence, pretty much, what he delivers as
How
the
he-
character. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's how Tom Hanks is portraying him, because what I saw in the documentary, that's pretty much Mr. Rogers.
That is.
pretty
If you haven't
much.
seen the documentary, like I said, watch it. It is it's heartwarming pretty much, but at the same time you see how genuine this man was.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's like, because you see people like this, you know, like, oh, you think, oh, they have a messed up life, or they do stupid stuff, or they do crazy stuff on the side. No. This guy you saw is the same guy you see in life.
Yeah.
You know, and over 50, you know, ever since this show premiered over 50 years ago, it's like, he's changed so many lives, you know?
It's okay. It's okay. The waterworks were on and off during the documentary, so.
Yeah, I know.
But no, this is really cool. Deep breaths. This is really cool because, like, you know, Mr. Rogers is somebody we grew up with, not all the time, but, you know, they were a part of our lives. Hence why, you know, we're so affected by it. He was always a part of our lives. And what made him so cool was that, like, you know, like, one thing they bring up in the documentary is that, you know, he wasn't a fan of, like, later animated shows and stuff like that. But the only reason he wasn't a fan of it was, you know, he's like, you know, what they show kind of muddles the message of what they're trying to say. At least with my show, I'm clear. I'm telling you exactly.
I'm straight to the point, pretty much. He's not afraid to ask the hardest questions, pretty much. He's not afraid. He's straight up to the point.
Oh yeah, like when he brings up like early on in the show, when he brings up assassination when RFK got assassinated, pretty much, and like.
It's like he wasn't afraid to bring up
the
subject.
And that's what made Mr. Rogers so amazing. Yeah, he was set in his own ways, but he was set in his own ways to a point where he can sit down and talk to a child, to a child, and probably explain to him, like, what does it mean when my parents, divorce? What does it mean when somebody gets shot and killed?
Yeah.
You know, why, like, I forgot the name of his lion puppet, but finding out that more or less in a way, his lion puppet was his way of bringing out all the emotions he experienced as a kid, pretty much all of his doubts and worries.
It's like he tries to, it's like he realized, it's like don't be afraid to bring your kids into the real world or into this adult life. Pretty much, they're gonna get to this point. At some point,
like his whole point of saying, his whole "you're special" speech is like not saying everybody's entitled, which apparently a lot of people thought. No, it's saying that each person here, you're important. You're important to somebody in this world. Whether it's just somebody else or the whole world, you're important to somebody in this life.
Yeah.
That's what he always meant. As we're getting off track with the movie, but the movie itself looks apart. I have no doubt that Tom Hanks did research.
I'm pretty sure.
He saw the documentary. He talked to Fred Rogers' wife, his sons, pretty much. And, he got to experience it.
And again, like we said pretty much, which we understand a lot of people are going to nitpick pretty much. And like I said, for us, that was the only little bit is that, it's kind of hard to sound like him. But, as long as you can grab the essence of what he was trying to, perceive and, give off, Tom Hanks is doing an amazing
It's like I said,
job.
that's like I said, my only nitpick is the voice, but like Tom Hanks is the perfect casting for this because he's Hollywood's favorite uncle. He's the uncle he's the kind, nice man where it's the tightest joke about douchebag points.
Yeah.
Like if Tom Hanks is like up there, Mr. Rogers has infinity douchebag points.
Yes.
If you were to slap somebody would honestly try to look back in their life and go, what did I do wrong?
Exactly.
To where Mr. Rogers slapped me in the face.
Mr. Rogers is the one that slapped me.
But that's why I like Tom Hanks is the perfect casting for this. I may not appreciate, not like a voice, but let's be honest, it's really hard to nail Fred Rogers' voice because he has such a unique voice, And this movie, like other than that, this movie looks like Tom Hanks is playing the part beautifully, wonderfully, and like.
And if anything, like we said before, like I said, we definitely would suggest watching the Mr. Rogers biopic, pretty much.
Documentary.
Documentary.
Won't You Be My Neighbor?
Yeah, Won't You Be My Neighbor? Definitely. We would definitely suggest that pretty much because you really get to see who this man really was.
Yeah, and even showed like he wasn't perfect, but he eventually learned from his you learn about his imperfectness and not only worked around it but used it on his show. Like I said, I don't remember the lion puppets, the tiger puppet's name, but that was one of the things he did pretty much. He took his imperfectness that he felt about himself and put it through that.
Oh yeah,
pretty much. And then later, when like when he found out the officer who always showed up was gay, at first he wasn't against it, but he didn't want it on his show because then at the time it was a big deal, and he probably would have taken the show off. That's why he didn't do it. But
Yeah.
eventually he talked.
He eventually brought it up later on when everything was starting to be okay with it.
Yeah, he was and he talked to the guy about it, and to this day the guy is still in tears, and he considers Mr. Rogers like a member, like another father figure in his life.
Yeah, another father figure. So it's like, you know, because everybody else would have put him down or found a way to put him down, and Mr. Rogers never ever did that ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
But overall, this trailer looks good. Of course, we're going to check it out. We already checked out the documentary, so of course we're going to see this. So,
Yeah.
other than that, if you're new to the channel, you can hit the like button. If you want to talk to us more about stuff like this, comment down below. If you want to share us around, share it around. And if you like us just a little bit more than anybody else when it comes to talking about Mr. Rogers, hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon as well.
Let us know what you guys thought of this trailer overall. Did it have you choke up or cry just a little bit by the end of it, for me especially? You know, let us know in the comments below. I mean, was he a big part of your pretty much, you know, world or something like that, or just a small bit of it where it was the right moment in your life for you to watch Mr. Rogers or anything like that? You know, we'd love to hear you guys' thoughts and stories, but most of all, let us know what you guys thought of this trailer overall. What do you think of Tom Hanks' performance overall as well? Do you agree with us? Do you think the only small little nitpick was just the voice, but the rest of it is fantastic? You know, just, you know, again, that's not taken away from the rest of the movie. The rest of the movie looks fantastic. But let us know what you guys' thoughts are on it overall. But most importantly, we definitely thank you for watching.
So until next time, I'm Kristen.
I'm Christopher.
And this has been a very 143 filled episode of SRB.
See.
Later.
Hey guys, thanks for watching.
If you want to check out our previous reactions,
As well as our other shows.
click the playlist down below.
And if you want to check us out in the social universe,
You can check us out on Twitter
as well as Stardust.
at Super React Bros.